I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori. Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We crossing topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beaters through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you're listening to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Cause you listen to the Man Hour.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhatcher here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the blog section and, of course, merchandise section as well. We still get a $10 discount promo code happening over there at manhourradio.com. Use the promo code SUNSET, all capitalized, and you get $10 off your purchase of $25 or more. So $10 off $25 or more with promo code SUNSET. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Belly Up Sports. Head over to bellyupsports.com. Check out their hundreds of other sports shows there, and of course their blog section as well as our man Wayne G and Mr. Wallace posts his blogs over there all the time. So Mr. Wallace was here with us guys last night with the whole power ranking. So he did a great job. If you guys are not following us on Facebook or IG, I posted all 32 teams so far. I'm up to number 8. So we have eight more to go. So feel free to share those guys' content and have a great time over there. We do have an action-packed show. We're going to break down Thursday Night Football, Giants versus the Washington Football Team. We're going to talk some Major League Baseball playoffs, potential playoff matchups, and must-win Week 2 NFL games. So let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Beastie. What's going on, Beastie?
What's going on, Buck? What's going on, Man Hour Radio? What is going on, Man Hour Nation? All our people in the UK drinking their tea and eating their crumpets. Buck.
Yeah, what did I say last night?
You said they were eating their tea.
Eating their tea.
Eating their tea. It must be kind of because I was drinking twisted tea last night. I was twisting the tea last night. But you guys can find Combs on Twitter at manhour_Combs on the old Twitter machine. And you can also find Tori on the old Twitter machine at manhour_Tori. Tori, welcome to the show. How are you tonight, big guy?
Angry. Oh, so angry.
Why?
Why
are you angry?
I don't have power tools, and I'm trying to put these nightstands together because my bedroom has no bedroom light, apparently. And so I had to order nightstands and lamps and do adult stuff. And
you have a friend who's a carpenter who only lives like an hour away and has plenty of power tools.
Yeah, except I want to get it done like today because I want to actually be able to put my lamps up so I can.
I instead of having a reason to head up to the Milwaukee shop for the day.
Yeah,
all I had to do was ask.
And I didn't. They just showed up today. They showed up this afternoon.
I gotcha.
So
hey, if you are willing to put together some furniture, Combs, I got a bedroom set coming, 3 nightstands, 4 dressers, and another bed. If you want to come down, we can have a weekend
and a trampoline.
Party. Yeah,
no habla English.
Oh, that's how that works, huh?
Tori's an hour away. You're 4.
Hey, I offer beer, so beer and pizza. That's a way to your heart.
I'm pretty sure he'd offer beer too.
He offers whiskey or something.
Scotch.
Yeah. See, yeah, he's got you cut. Like I mean, he's closer and he's got better liquor.
Wow.
Scotch, cigars, and dinner.
I'll go without the cigars, but I'll take the scotch and the dinner.
How about some peanut butter and jelly? Would that help? I mean,
dude, I am down for some peanut butter and jelly. I ain't gonna lie. Did you know? So I heard a study that they're talking about like different foods that take, time off your life and certain foods that add time to your life. Did you know that a chicken wing takes 7 minutes off of your life for every chicken wing you eat?
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
And did you know that every peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you eat gives you 2 hours added to your lifespan?
Every time I wake up and I go to work, it takes at least a week off of my life. So,
but every time I wake up and go to work, it takes a day off my life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, people don't understand how much we work. I putting it in perspective today for some of the people at my office, and they're like, how do you have time? They're like, you work 55 to 60 hours a week, then you go do the radio show. On nights you don't do the radio show, you're coaching basketball. They're like, when do you have time to do anything else? I said, I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we work about 5. So from the time I wake up at 5 in the morning till time we get off the show at like 9:15. By the time we're done talking after the show, sometimes we just that's all we do.
Yeah. I get about 4 hours of sleep a night because like I coach and work and then do this and all the extra stuff. So yeah, I mean, I definitely
can't wait to go to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited. So speaking of Vegas, the Giants and Washington football team don't play in Vegas, but they do play this Thursday night game. The Giants do travel to DC to take on the football team. So Tori Anderson, I'm going to kick it to you first at @Manor_Tori on the old Twitter machine. How can the football team win tomorrow night?
Just blitz, baby, blitz. They're again. They didn't play like it, but they were a top 10 unit last year, and this is actually a pretty good defense. Taylor Heinicke's taking over as a starter now for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. See how he plays. But there again, still a young quarterback. He only had a couple of, he had a good 1/2 of football last year. So we're going to get to see really what Taylor Heinicke's really made of. And if I'm the Giants, I am blitzing him all day long. Every play, I don't care. First and second down, run blitz. Third down, pass blitz. Unless you're in a second and long the way it is. Come at him all day long. Make Taylor Heinicke beat you through the air.
So
hands down, best way for them to try to do it.
So you're saying how the Giants can win and just blitz the Washington football team over and over and over again, right?
Absolutely. Put the pressure. You got to put the pressure on Heinicke. If they let Antonio Gibson start taking over the game, starter Sampson, that takes all the pressure in the world off Taylor Heinicke. So if they can stuff the run, like I said, run blitz first and second down, and then unleash the dogs on third down. Come after him, make him beat you with his arm.
Yeah.
Show that he can be a good quarterback in the NFL. It'll tell you who he is real quick.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct on that. So, BC, on the other side of the coin there, how can the Washington football team beat the Giants?
He took my answer.
I know.
Defense, defense, defense. Look, you have got to put Taylor Heinicke in position to win this game, and you do that by shortening the field. You do that by giving him the ball back, and this defense has to be the heart and soul of this team right now, because you don't have a quarterback you can trust until they go and make a trade. Right now, you don't have a quarterback you can trust. Maybe Heinicke is the second coming of Tom Brady, and we just don't know it yet, right? Or maybe he's the second coming of Mitch Trubisky, and we just don't know it yet. So you don't know what you got. You don't know who you can trust. And
I don't think anybody traded up to get Taylor Heinicke.
That's true. That's true.
The Bears would have.
I actually trust Taylor Heinicke more than I trust Mitch Trubisky. So, but that's another story. Look, I think that the defense here is what Washington needs to bring. Same way you're talking about what they need to do to beat Washington. I think Washington needs to return the favor in order to beat New York. They need to contain the run. You need to contain Saquon Barkley. You need to be able to, force Danny Dimes to throw the ball downfield. Or you can just spread out, let him run free, and he'll trip over the 20-yard line.
So you guys are saying that we were looking at a defensive battle this Thursday night. That's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Potentially, yeah, you could
bet the under all day long, unless the under is 13 points. Take the under all day long, because I can absolutely positively seeing this one of them typical Thursday night snooze fest that ends in a 10-3, 7-3, 6-3 type game. This can be one of them really low-scoring, defensive-oriented games where there's probably like 9 interceptions and 8 fumble recoveries.
Tori, what are your thoughts on that?
As far as taking the under, Thursday night games typically have a history of being a blowout one way or another.
Right.
So I am trying to see what the over-under is on that game right now. Let's see.
I can tell you it's not 13.
It is not. I would say it could be something low like 34, but where is it? Right? Well, I can't find. Spread. So what the heck?
Dead air.
Over under.
Corey. What is going on?
Over under is 41.5.
Jeez, it took you that long to find the answer?
Yes.
Wow. No.
41.5.
Under.
All right.
Methodical.
So here's
under
a stat.
Under all day long on that.
Here's a stat for you. The Washington Reds. The Washington. Sorry, I misspoke there. The Washington, not Redskins anymore. The Washington football team is 4-1 on Thursday nights. They have scored in 5 games. They've scored 88 points. That's an average of about 17 points a game. The New York Giants are 1-6 on Thursday nights, and they've scored 72 points. Bet the under. It's going to be a 10-3 game.
Now, also to add to the facts there, I mean, usually 9 times out of 10, the home team is going to win the Thursday night game because the road team has to travel and all that stuff. So you're short, like you have practice for like 2 days, and it's absolutely ridiculous on that flip side of the coin. But what they're traveling, they're probably coming down that afternoon, so their day isn't going to be interrupted too much. And this is obviously a divisional game where they know each other very, very well. So Combs, who do you got winning this game and why?
I'm going to go with Washington, just because of their history on Thursday night games. They tend to fare well on Thursday night games. They play tight, and that defense is just flat out better than the Giants defense. And I don't care what they have on offense. It's better than Danny Dimes. Saquon Barkley is going to get contained. This Washington defense does not allow a lot of rushing yards. So I'm going with Washington all day long here.
All right, so you're going with Washington. What's your final score?
I'm going to go Washington 10, New York Giants 6.
All right. Mr. Torrey Anderson, you heard BC Combs 10-6 score there, picking Washington. Who are you going to pick and why?
Still rolling with the Washington football team. That defense is ridiculously good. They ran into a very, very good Chargers team, and I actually had picked the Washington football team to lose that game. Little did I realize, I thought that game was supposed to be in LA and it was in Washington. So a team going from the West Coast to the East Coast and winning a game is actually kind of
odd,
rare.
Yeah.
But being week 1, they may have been there 10 days ago. Who knows? To catch up with the time.
Right.
But I think the Washington football team wins this game. I agree. Their defense is just too good. And as far as Saquon goes, Saquon didn't show anything last week. He rushed 10 times for 26 yards.
Right. Pitch count.
Yeah. But still, that's a 2.6 yard average. That's not doing you any favors in the NFL.
You are 100% correct. But coming in week 2, the pitch count should be off by now. We've seen that he's 100% healthy. He can take hits. He can handle the rock still. I think Danny Dimes is going to have an excellent game. He is going to throw for 300-plus yards. Saquon is going to rush for another 87 yards, maybe even 100. As the Washington defense is going to be stellar, that offense of the Washington is just going to be that much worse. Heineke is going to get shut down. There's film on him now. They know how to contain him. His stupid little smiley face tattoo on his forearm is going to get tore off because he's going to get sacked so many times by the New York Football Giants in this game. Give me the Giants 28-3. I think it's going to be a blowout game on one side. 28-3. Give me that score for the Giants all day, every day.
I was actually incorrect on the Giants record on Thursday nights. It's actually 16-12-3. They've actually tied 3 Thursday night games.
Is that counting Thanksgiving games though?
They've played 31 times on a Thursday night. Nobody wants to watch the New York Giants.
Well, they also were playing on Thanksgiving all the time versus the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and then the Washington.
No, it's not. It's usually the Redskins that they play.
Well, but it's still
the Washington football team.
It's the Washington NRA, not Redskins anymore.
The deeply colored epidermis.
Did you guys see
Why
that?
didn't they just change their name to the Skins? It didn't have to be the red ones. Why couldn't they just be the Skins?
Because
they could have been the
thing.
ultimate. They could have been the ultimate diversity. They could have been the Skins, and they could have had a brown, a tan. They could have had all the different colors of all the different skins. They could have been the ultimate symbol of diversity.
When you guys think of skins, I do not think of ultimate diversity. I think of skinheads, and that's like the Ku Klux Klan and Nazis.
No,
I think of like
because
I think about like
that's
shirts
what you watch
versus
on
skins.
TV all the time.
Stupid. What'd you say, Tori?
I think like you say like skins. I'm like shirts versus skins basketball. Like,
Yeah, see, something normal. All of a sudden, you go, "What? What do you guys do in Southern Indiana on a Saturday?"
He goes over into Kentucky to Shepherdsville.
Yeah, we skin our heads. Isn't that where the Ku Klux Klan was introduced or something? Shepherdsville.
I don't know if they were introduced there, but they're still active there.
Yeah.
Well, they're active all over the United States, but Shepherdsville is definitely.
Honey, is that a bonfire in the cornfield? Nope.
No,
just keep driving.
All right, guys. We are going to take our first break here on the night. On the other side of the break, guys, we are going to talk some Major League Baseball, some how bad Aaron Rodgers is, and, of course, Dak Prescott. All that much more, guys, coming up here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheist on Tori Anderson and BC Combs and I. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on youtube.com/Man Hour. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. We upload clips every day. Tori's got me laughing in the background. 8, 11, 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday through Thursday, and on Fridays and Saturdays we do 8 p.m. Dude, come on, man. This is ridiculous. I'm just going to bring you on. This segment of the show is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Head over to thrivefantasy.com. Use promo code MANHOUR, and they'll match up to $50 on your first deposit. You can also download that on iOS and Android devices. That's thrivefantasy.com. And guys, right now, if you enter in their golf over-under picks, you get free entry, a free $100 entry into Week 2 NFL picks. So easy money. Definitely get in there. not to brag or like anything, but I'm up $1,200 on Thrive. So, guys, it's easy. It's simple over-unders, and that's exactly what is going on. So, give a few people a shout-out.
I heard that Buck is paying for the Vegas trip.
Yeah,
that's what I heard there.
I pay for everything else, so why not pay for Vegas, too?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm totally kidding. We all do everything equally around here. But let's jump into the chat here real quick. Give a big shout out to Drew. Drew, what's going on tonight? Quentin Gardner, what's going on, man? Definitely hit me up on the Snapchat and we can discuss things if you need to talk, my man. We also got Michelle in there. We got Dawn. We got Soup Boss. Oh, Combs, tell the people about these special segment that's coming out in about 15, 20 minutes.
You guys asked for it, and we listened. Soup Boss is back, baby. Soup Boss is going to join us. He's going to come up with his new segment called Spilled Soup, where he's going to just kind of come at us with some of the stuff he's been listening to and some of the stuff he wants to, kind of yell at us about and allow us to yell back at him a little bit. And, I like yelling at Soup Boss. I like telling him when he's wrong, which is 99% of the time.
Exactly.
But he just thinks the louder he yells, the more right that he is. So we kind of
sounds a lot like you, BC.
Yeah. Very, very true.
You shut your damn mouth.
And I love how Soup Boss come at me about my headset, about my microphone being there. I got these headphones because you're like super memory foam soft and they're freaking amazing, like really good with my glasses. And I can't.
I like
find
it
my
earlier. He came at you about your twisted tea. The fact that you drink twisted tea.
What is your deal, Soup? I can't wait for 20 minutes to come on. Like I've been letting stuff brew up. It is time to spill my soup too. But guys, it is time to get into sports headlines here, and like I said, it is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Head over to thrivefantasy.com and use promo code MANHOUR. So guys, as you know here, the Dodgers have been a staple in the Major League Baseball playoffs here for the last 9 seasons, or the last 8 seasons, but last night with their win over the Giants, they clinched their 9th straight playoff berth. So Brandon BC Combs, you are our baseball connoisseur here, but the baseball lackey has been kind of lacking here, hasn't been on. Are the Dodgers the team to beat in the Major League Baseball playoffs this year?
I mean, they kind of got to be with that pitching staff that they got. I think they became the team to beat, not only when they won the World Series last year, but this year more so than ever when they made that trade at the trade deadline. When they went out and got Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, I mean, this just turned on the head. And the worst part about it is they went out and got Max Scherzer, and he might actually steal the Cy Young away from their guy, Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
So it's look, the Dodgers are probably the best team. However, do not sleep on our wild card teams this year, because whether it is the St. Louis Cardinals, sorry, I can't say that without throwing up in the mouth a little bit, or if it's the San Diego Padres, they're going to be a dangerous team in the wild card. I don't care which team it is, they're going to be a dangerous team. And those are teams that you can't sleep on. I don't know how the freaking Cardinals do it every year. We were talking about this before the show. I don't understand. Like every year you're like, oh yeah, finally the Cardinals are going to be in the basement. Finally, the Cardinals are the worst team in this division. Oh, they're winning. Okay, cool. Even 2 weeks ago, nobody was talking. Like nobody thought the Cardinals were in the playoff picture. Nobody's talking about the Cardinals. Nobody's thinking about the Cardinals. The Cardinals are just done. I thought that they were about 20 and a half games out with the Cubs. I didn't even know they were winning still. And so then I look up and I look at it this morning and I'm like, wait, what? The Cardinals are by themselves as the second wild card? You got to be kidding me. The San Diego Padres have completely disappointed me the second half of this year anyway. They've just gone downhill so fast. They're really going to disappoint me if they let the Cardinals into the playoffs. So that's just that's one thing in baseball that Tori and I can agree on is go bleep the Cardinals. Yeah. That's what we can agree on in baseball.
Because every year he's not a light. Every stinking year.
I'm so tired of it.
Tired. It's sickening.
Yes. It's like watching the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Stop. I'm done seeing it.
They're like, they have no pitching. They're going to be terrible. They're lucky to be 500. Oh, look, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So We will be talking some more playoffs or some more wild cards here coming up in hour and number 2. But Tori, I got to ask you that question. Are the Dodgers the team to beat in Major League Baseball right now?
You're going to make me do it again, aren't you?
Yeah.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! They're still the champs. They're still the champs. I mean, they're still the team to beat. Until they're not in the playoffs or they get knocked out, they are the team to beat. They are the defending world champions. However, I do think my Milwaukee Brewers will take them out if they play in the NLCS. Actually, I don't think that because our bats will not be able to keep up with them, I don't think, honestly. However, that series would be one hell of a pitcher's duel. Can you imagine the pitching lineups?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On paper, there's no better team than the Dodgers. Offensively and pitching-wise, there's no better team than the Dodgers. I mean, they're going to go in to every series as the favorite until they lose. But are they beatable? Absolutely. Their hitting goes into funks. At times, their pitching can be hittable. You know, the problem is Buehler and Scherzer being the 1-2 punch. And by the way, once you get through them, you've got to go through Clayton Kershaw. And so it's tough. The Dodgers are really good. They're really strong. They are tough.
They have a good bullpen.
Yeah. It's really going to be one of those where it's matchup by matchup. I might end up, once the playoff bracket sets itself, they might be a team where I could look at the playoffs and be like, you know what, if they get into this situation, this team can beat them. But whatever they do to beat the Dodgers, you're going to have to either beat Walker Buehler or Max Scherzer twice. And that's a problem.
That is a big problem. But we will be talking more about that, guys, like I said, in hour number 2 here on the Man Hour. So let's go ahead and transition gears and switch back into the NFL. We saw Aaron Rodgers, guys, have a horrible week 1. He threw for 133 yards. He threw his first red zone interception in who knows how long. So, Tori Anderson, this is your guy. This is your boy. This is your team. How can Aaron Rodgers bounce back in week 2?
There again, it's just playing with the starters. There was no rhythm. There was nothing. They all looked like trash. The line didn't look like they know what the hell they were doing. So it's just being on the field together, playing, finding that rhythm. There was absolutely no rhythm at all on Sunday. It looked like they were like tripping over each other. It looked like they were run a play that nobody knew what the play was. It was a horrible game. Aaron came out and said he played terrible. Matt LaFleur came out and said, I coached a terrible game. That's on me. Like, the one thing that I do like is all the guys on the team are coming out and saying, put that on me because it's on me because I played terrible, or the coach saying I coached terrible. It's my thing is you had like 3 weeks to prepare a game plan and you fell flat on your face.
3 weeks. They had the entire offseason to prepare. It was week 1.
Right.
They had the entire offseason to prepare.
I don't. So people were all happy when Mike Patton got fired. I'm like, you guys are yelling about a guy that had the number 9 ranked defense last year, and then you fired. Well, I take that back. They didn't fire him. They didn't renew his contract and brought in a new defensive coordinator, a guy that looked like he didn't have a clue what he was doing as a first-time defensive coordinator.
So,
I take back second-time defensive coordinator. He was a D coordinator in Washington.
So, Combs, Tori kind of gave us like this shell of an answer. What is the real answer? How can Aaron Rodgers bounce back in week 2?
Show up. It's the Detroit Lions.
What?
Just show up. The Detroit Lions are hot garbage. The Packers right now, the game doesn't even start until freaking Monday night. Okay? And they're already up by 25. That's how bad the Detroit Lions are. The Packers are already up 25. And look, the Green Bay Packers are a better team. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. They just need to show up. They didn't show up last week. And if they go and they show up, they'll be all right. It's got to be God. I'm just hoping so. I got 11 total points between Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers in fantasy this week.
Well, apparently you didn't listen to Tori's advice there, so you should probably listen to Tori's advice.
I did. I drafted Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed by the end of the year.
The Packers have never been so. And I have to see the Packers a lot, being a Bears fan, right? I've never seen it. Tori, you might disagree with this, or you might agree with it. I've never in my life seen them outcoached and outplayed the way they have been in the Matt LaFleur era. It's bad. It's bad. There was at one point where I think I texted Tori, or maybe I sent it in the group chat or something like that. But I forget, they were down by like 25 points, and it was 4th and 3, and they were on the 47-yard line or something, and they punted the ball. I said, "Oh, okay, sure, Matt LaFleur. Now you want to freaking kick the ball? like, go for it! What are you doing?"
So let me ask you guys this question. One of the biggest things about the preseason is finding the rhythm of your offense, the rhythm of the defense, getting used to each other, and like all that stuff. Tori, do you think the Packers failed their team by not letting their starters play in the preseason with the new defensive coordinator, Aaron Rodgers not being there all off season, etc.?
Not really, because I think losing that one preseason game now makes you have to take a closer look at your backup talent to evaluate. You literally do not have as much time anymore to play your starters to get them into a rhythm. And if you have like a deeper roster that you're going to have to make cuts, why would you risk your starters getting injured when you have to look at these guys and figure out who you're going to keep on your 53 man? And then you got to figure out who's going onto my practice squad. So I think this is it's not really something that's an anomaly with the starters not playing. I think you're going to start seeing it a little bit more prevalent as we go forward because of without that last preseason game in there now. And no, I just don't. You're going to see rusty, terrible football like we do every single year in weeks 1 through 3. It's the way it is. It's the way it's been since the beginning of time.
Combs, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, look, it's just the way it goes. That's why you see crazy stuff in week 1. There's always something crazy that happened. Pittsburgh winning in Buffalo in week 1. Nobody really saw that coming. There might have been a few people that said that they saw it coming, and maybe they did call it, but they didn't believe it when they called it. Right. They just called it because they wanted to be right when it happened, and that's what happened. They got lucky. There are crazy things that nobody saw. Now look, I picked the New Orleans Saints to win by 2 to 3 scores. I thought that was because it was going to be like a 42-20 game, or like I didn't expect the Packers to not score a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a big shock.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, I think Rodgers threw for 5 interceptions all of last year. In last week's game, he threw for 2 interceptions on 3 pass plays. So there were just crazy things happen in week 1. Week 2, maybe even week 3. I think that's a little bit, by then the rush should be off. It really just depends on the organization, though. I mean, you've got to be able to trust the pieces around you. You've got to be able to trust the coaching staff to make the adjustments. You got to be, and some organizations can do that, and some organizations like the Bears can't.
So,
the Jets have been stuck in preseason for like 17 seasons.
Jaguars. Huh?
So the one thing that you guys keep referring to is rust. Would you rather have 4 preseason games or 17 regular season games, Tori?
Give me the regular season games. Actually, give me 4 preseason and 17 regular season games. Give them a little bit more guaranteed money. Extend that season a little bit. Hell, let's play football year round. Let's give them like 2 months off.
4 preseason games and 24 regular season games.
Yes.
And then a 20-team playoff bracket.
And then Carson Wentz will get hurt week 1, week 15, and week 24, all coming back from the IR, right?
And Carson Wentz no longer wants to come on the show ever if he ever hears it.
That's all right. So
he just tore an ACL to walk into his computer.
Yeah, he's like, how do I work this damn phone? And oh shit, my thumb.
Broke his finger trying to type mean things to us on Twitter.
All of a sudden, we're getting death threats from freaking Colts fans.
Hey, all clout is good clout, right? But Speaking of clout and whatnot, Dak Prescott threw a unprecedented number of passes on Thursday Night Football last week versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's currently on pace for 7,000 yards this season, boys. The biggest thing that Zeke only touched the ball 11 times in that game. Zeke's a $100 million running back, right? And he touched the ball 11 times. So, Brandon BC Combs, can the Cowboys win games playing like that? You know, Dak Prescott thrown for 60 plus times in a game.
Yes, because Dak Prescott is probably your best playmaker. And you've got the weapons where he can run around and guys that can get open. I think that I personally, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I want to see Zeke get more touches. Zeke, and I talked about this with Tori the other night off air, is that Zeke kind of had the perfect game for the Cowboys. He had the game the Cowboys needed him to have on last Thursday night. A lot of people talked about his lack of production and fantasy owners were mad at him. And I get all that, but he was able to stay back. He was able to, kind of protect Dak Prescott from blitzes. He was doing a lot of pass blocking. He wasn't, running the ball as much because he was doing the things they needed him to do for Dak Prescott to be successful, especially against a good defense like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who offensively they're going to score a lot of points. So you've got to be able to get into a shootout with them. You're not going to run the ball and wind down the clock for Tom Brady, because if you think you're going to wind down the clock for Tom Brady, he's going to come out and score in 2 plays, and he's going to totally defeat your purpose of winding down the clock. It's Tom Brady. So you have to get into a shootout with them. You have to try to outscore them. You have to do those things. I want to see in the next game who they got on. They've got
they are at San Diego, right? At Los Angeles. They're playing
Los Angeles. Yep. Yeah. So Los Angeles is one of those teams where I want to see Zeke get more touches. Zeke needs to be a bigger part of this game plan. You need to eliminate Bosa. You need to run to the opposite side. You need to run some screen passes, that type of stuff. So you get Zeke more involved against a team like the Chargers than you can against a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of the defense, because you don't necessarily have to outscore them, 42-41, that type of game. The Chargers, you can play a tight game. You can wind the clock down. So I think Zeke will be more a part of the game plan, where Dak doesn't have to throw for 58 passes in a game like this. But there are going to be some games, especially in the NFC East, where you're going to have to throw 40 to 50 times. When you're playing teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when you're playing teams like the Kansas City Chiefs that they do this year, you're going to have to throw the ball 50 times because you have to get into a shootout. So, yes, can they win with him throwing the ball 50 plus times? Yes. Do they need to throw it 50 plus times every single week? No.
Tori, you know Mike McCarty very, very well for being a Packers fan. Can Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys win like this?
No, not sustainably. Again, it's Mike McCarthy who relies way heavy on his run. So looking through year by year, how many 1,000-yard rushers from 2006 to 2018 in his tenure did the Green Bay Packers have?
Why are we talking about the Packers?
Let's say
I'm talking about McCarthy's
why
coaching.
is not on this show?
I'm talking about McCarthy as a coach. He had 4 years.
Okay,
so that
does
not bode
Eddie
well.
Lacy chasing cheeseburgers.
He also had some pretty good running backs. He also had an Amon Green who is not at the end of his career yet.
Was Amon Green a really good running back, or was Amon Green just a 2 to 3 year type guy who had a really good spurt?
No, he had 5 or 6 good years. He had 5 or 6 really good years.
Amon Green?
if his name was Terrell Davis, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Really? Really? You really believe that?
Yeah. You want me to bring this now? Who's bringing up the Packers?
Well, no, I'm just saying. You're saying Amon Green. I mean, I just don't remember him having that many that many great seasons. I know he rushed for 1,000 yards a few times, maybe 5 or 6 times, but I wouldn't say like, I don't know. I don't remember how many years he played. I know he rushed for less than 10,000 yards.
Well, you have to understand, like,
12 years.
He rushed for 9,200 yards in his career.
Okay.
And also on the flip side of that, you have to realize a life expectancy of a running back is 5 to 6 years tops.
Yeah,
right.
No, absolutely understandable.
And the first 2 years of his career, he was in Seattle where he didn't play.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
All right, guys, so we are going to wrap it up here, and we are up against the next break. On the other side of the break, we got Spilled Soup with the man himself, Mr. Soup Boss. So he is going to try to come at us and make us all feel bad about ourselves, but...
Well, that's easy with you, though, Buck.
You guys are so mean.
You got some stupid takes.
Break.
All we gotta do is say,
Welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeister, along with Brandon B.C. Combs and Tori Anderson themselves. Welcome, bring everybody back on the screen here. You can find us all on the Twitter machine at manhour_Buck, manhour_Tori, and of course, manhour_Combs. But it is time for the segment that everybody has been waiting for. The segment himself, Mr. Soup Boss, been very active over there in the YouTube chat, talking his stuff, trying to challenge everything that we say. It is time, guys, for some spilled soup. So, Soup Boss, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
Well, am I muted?
You are not muted.
I just want to make sure, Buck. That's my first complaint when it comes to anything here. Stop muting people, for the love of God.
Well, because you see, if we go on break, I have to mute them on my OBS so you guys don't hear it while we're discussing stuff on the backside.
But if they subscribe, they get behind the scenes stuff. They can hear all that crap the whole time. That's how you feed it in, baby. That's how you feed it in. And it's because of the fans that I'm back on here, not because of anything that you guys want. Because, God, you piss me off with half of this stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to be able to do this and to dive into some couple things. So you just let me know.
Pisses you off the most, Soup?
God, Combs, I I cannot believe that there would be a day that I'd be able to stare at like my TV and go, Combs isn't the most annoying thing to me right now. But how in God's name do you tick me off so much. That one night, I probably should drink a little bit less. Thank God you guys didn't bring me on and I called the last second on your cell phone because I'm pretty sure I was slurring like this. You were driving me nuts. I was typing in all caps. I probably looked like I was like unable to speak clearly.
Actually, you were not typing in like all caps. It was like every other letter was capitalized. That Tyrod Taylor crap. I don't know what.
Well, that's because I'm picking on you. You're like, no, Tyrod Taylor. No, he's so good. He's amazing. Tyrod Taylor going Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is going Hall of Fame now.
I say Tyrod Taylor, and I see you go. Like you get a little tweak notion going in your neck. It's insane. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's actually not a tweak notion in his neck. That's actually his shorts getting tighter.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. I was trying to keep it PG-13. Code.
I actually just got a splinter because it's going right against my desk. Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor and Detroit Lions, man. Buck knows what's up. He's really selling this show big time. Hence the reason I have to be on here. God,
yeah, Buck pulls up his shirt. He's got Tyrod tatted across his abs.
Yeah.
In those letters, he probably was trying to do it himself. He was just like little T, big Y, just because I have to.
You actually have to look at it in a mirror in a car to see what it says, though.
The fact that you know that just proves it, Buck. You had that answer right away. I don't want to see you without your shirt on, though. Please, let's not do that.
Next Wednesday, I got something special for you.
Oh God, that scares me. Did the subscriber count just go down? I think I can see. Oh man,
the viewership did definitely. Hey, Soup. So you got some stuff you want to come at us about? You were saying. So let's go with it. What do you got to come at us with?
This is what it's all about. All right. As I sit here with the fans and I watch this great show and I scream at my television and wonder what the heck you guys are talking about. There are some things you guys start battling with me, and you make sure you pick and choose when in the chat, and Buck, half the time you don't read the full words and you make it out to be something else, and I gotta yell at you more in the chat, which is an obvious take by you.
See, the problem is he does read the full words. He just
doesn't understand them all. What is this TAT word?
He's trying to sound it out the whole time. Everybody thinks he stutters. Yeah. He's actually trying to read.
That's true. I am from Kansas, and we have a 5th grade level education.
Explains everything. Yeah. When I could sit here and say I'm in Oklahoma, and I understand that's a pretty bad thing, buddy. Yeah. But so I want to come at you guys because I know I don't have the whole night. But there are 3 things that in the last week or so that I've looked at here, and I've just gotten into ridiculous fights. And if you haven't listened to any of the previous shows that Combs and I used to do, I bring data, I bring facts. Combs hates it. He just wants to go with his feelings. He's all in touch with his girly side and all this stuff. And this is what I think it feels. And which, by the way, baby. Combs, by the way, how does it feel to know that the Cardinals are in the playoffs? I told you every single year. Why do you deny the fact that they're going to the playoffs? It's ridiculous. It's just a basic stat.
Can you mute him now?
I forgot how to mute things.
He forgot to do it.
How I take it with the St. Louis Cardinals? I take it with the St. Louis Cardinals because I'm all right with it because Jameis Winston's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
And week 1, he is after 1 week, week 1 of the 2020 NFL season, he is a top 10 quarterback. Congratulations.
He will be for 16, 17
Congratulations.
This year.
And I just can't wait for the excuses, man. When he has his first bad game, you're just gonna be like, "But remember in week 1 when he beat the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, who came back from Cancun
not allowed
and
to
was
have
depressed.
any bad games. Aaron Rodgers had a bad game.
Yeah,
so he's allowed to have a bad game, right?
Because Aaron Rodgers and Jameis Winston are on the same page. Oh my God, Combs, stop!
How many times has Aaron Rodgers thrown for 5,000 yards and 30+ touchdowns?
How many times?
Never.
How many times has Jameis Winston not looked at the jerseys on the field and saw there's 22 people I could throw to? I'm sorry, 21. If he could throw to himself, he probably would. But yeah,
he might have tried it once.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, let's hop into this. I don't want to take up the whole night, guys. But I've got 3 things here. Number 1, there was a conversation, and Combs, we're going to start with you. Why not? Let's go by the old ways here. But you sat here and you were talking about the Raiders, and you guys were talking about Derek Carr, and the statement came out when, man, if Deshaun Watson could be on the Raiders, just how much better they would be. And I'm going to give you a word, exponentially. You guys didn't use that word. It's too big for you. But that's pretty much what you were doing. You were saying they would be exponentially better with Deshaun Watson. I said, no, they wouldn't be. They may be a little better, but they're not going to be extremely better. And you guys called me crazy. Combs and Tori, you guys lit into me about how I was just ridiculous. It made no sense because Deshaun Watson is just the king of everything. He could go to any team probably. You guys are just letting Derek Carr be the most underrated quarterback in the National Football League. But I'm not just going to say it. Let's back it up a little bit here because Combs, you started going into, these are all the reasons why. The Raiders' offensive line's a pretty decent offensive line. Combs, they're ranked 26 in the league. 26 offensive line. That's 2 better than Russell Wilson, who we always talk about the fact that the guy's going to get killed someday and they're wasting his talent. 26. You're like, well, their defense. I mean, they got a pretty good young defense over there. 26 ranked defense. I mean, as a whole, this is not a great offensive line that's sitting in front of Derek Carr. This is not a great defense that's on the other side. I mean, they made sure they took their best player in Khalil Mack and said, see you later, to give any chance for them to do that well.
Hey, they tried to trade back for him this offseason.
They did. They figured, well, we need to get some attention. Let's hey, how much would you take for him back? I mean, there's no way I'm going to do it, but let's get some spice going in Las Vegas here. But so Derek Carr himself is, and I get it, he's ranked 13th. And again, this isn't me saying Deshaun Watson's not an amazing quarterback because he's ranked 4th. But you guys were talking about the Raiders' record and how terrible. And yet, do you remember what their record was last year?
I believe they're 8-8, right?
Raiders?
They were 8-8. They were a 500 team. Again, nothing over the top amazing, but they were 8-8. You guys were talking about it like they're 3-4 win type of team. And yet, Deshaun Watson last year had the 20th ranked offensive line, which is 7 better. He had a decent offense that was ranked 15th compared to Carr's at 14th as a whole. And yet his team was 4-12. He had a little bit better on the completion percentage. He had a few more rushing yards. Passing yards, about 600-700 passing yards, about 6 more TDs. Passer rating was about 10 more. And they had about the same amount of fumbles and everything, same amount of rushing TDs. So you're telling me that Deshaun Watson being a little bit better on the stats, but with a better offensive line, a far better overall team rank, a better overall system outside defense, which has nothing to do with Deshaun Watson, somehow you're going to pick him up, put him in this system with Derek Carr, and automatically they're going to be exponentially better than 8-8? What do you think Deshaun Watson's going on this Raiders team and they're going to be, 13-4 this year? Are you crazy? It makes no sense. There's no logical sense. You trash Derek Carr, who's the most underrated quarterback in this league, who gets better every single year, year in, year out, better in ratings, better in passing, better in efficiency. And you go, yeah, but they suck. They suck with him. Their O-line's pretty good. Their defense is pretty good. Talking right out of your rear ends, and the stats don't back it up. Maybe Deshaun Watson gets them a win more, but it is not exponentially better. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
This is where you talk about Buck or me or Tori like to pick and choose the comments. That whole segment was started out by, we were talking about Derek Carr being the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
And then you said that
talking about him being most underrated. We know he's an underrated quarterback in the NFL. We know that. I know he's a good quarterback. I know if he goes to an organization, because I even said that night during the argument, if he went to another organization that could build around him and had a good coaching staff, he would be a good quarterback. He would be a quarterback that could go to a Super Bowl. He could be a quarterback that could possibly win a Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson, however, this is where you go to the eye test. Deshaun Watson automatically becomes a makes your team better because of the things he does on the field. Last year, he had better stats than Derek Carr did, better numbers than Derek Carr did all the way around, but it might have been a little bit better, but they were still better.
A little bit better with a better team.
It was not a better team.
So better O-line.
They traded DeAndre Hopkins, and they said they were going to start running the ball with David Johnson.
So yeah, you put Deshaun Watson with the Raiders with Josh Jacobs And even their receiver core, because they're again, Deshaun Watson's one of those quarterbacks that
They're
can make an average receiver.
They're not.
Look good.
You think they would have went from 8 wins to 12 wins,
12
even
wins.
with all that?
Deshaun.
He had a
Deshaun
better
Watson,
offensive line in front of him last year.
How much of that? How much of that?
Houston won
line
4
looked better.
games.
He made his offensive look.
Derek Carr won 4 more games with a worse offensive line. How the heck?
So you know, just like I know that a mobile quarterback, a quarterback that can make things happen, makes a trashy offensive line look a little bit better. That's the whole reason why I say that Justin Fields is ready to start for the Bears now.
Hey, don't jump on my next segment.
They have a trashy offensive line, but he can run around and he can make things happen. And he's going to make that offensive line do better because he's going to take pressure off the offensive line, which is what Deshaun Watson was able to do.
But you
Deshaun
say eye
Watson
test
on the Raiders last year with Ruggs, with all the guys that they had, with Jacobson, with the team that they had last year, they're a 12-win team.
It's such a baloney read on that. You're just automatically just saying just because Deshaun Watson can run it around, he automatically makes them 4 wins better when there were 4 wins worse with a better offensive line and everything around him. Overall, yes, you've got Jacobs and everything like that, who's still a rookie running back. Where you think all of a sudden Jacobs' numbers are going to be the same if you have Deshaun Watson as a running quarterback?
Line was better statistically because Deshaun Watson made them better statistically.
Because you can do it with a mobile quarterback, you can roll the pocket.
There were sacks
you can run
that aren't
RPOs.
allowed. There were sacks that aren't allowed because Deshaun Watson can escape pressure and turn losses into gains. Derek Carr does not have that ability.
Oh no, he's a pocket quarterback.
Where he can throw on the run better than Derek Carr and make things happen. There are things that make the offensive line statistically better, and they weren't. It's not like you're talking about the 7th ranked offensive line versus the 27th ranked offensive line. You're talking about the 25th versus the 20th.
You're the one that sat there, Combs, and said they had a great, decent offensive line. I'm opposing your damn comment. You said, "Oh, the Raiders have a really good
and
offensive
now I'm
line.
opposing your
offensive line. 26th rank O-line. 2 better
This is
than
like Brandon
Seattle.
versus Brandon.
2 better than Seattle. 2. And we talk about how Seattle does nothing to help Russell Wilson. That it's garbage. They're going to kill him. But 2 better. Whoa, man, that's great.
Seattle does plenty to help Russell Wilson. What are you talking about? Seattle has helped Russell Wilson
Not
plenty.
with the offensive
Russell
line.
Wilson just
Stay on
disappears.
topic. Stay
Russell
on
Wilson
topic.
disappears after
Offensive
week
line.
7.
Offensive line. And by the way, if you're going to give me this eye test bull crap, tell me how many Derek Carr games that you fully watched from beginning to end last year.
A lot. I watched a lot of football from beginning to end last year.
I
don't care who's playing.
How much Derek Carr did you watch?
I would say out of their 16 games last year, I probably watched, I would say 6 games.
This whole 6 games, and you think in what you saw in 6 games that he was just terrible.
Yeah,
I know you said that he was a good quarterback,
terrible.
But you think that what you saw out of maybe 6 games with Deshaun Watson, let's just say it's an even keel. You seriously think that was 4 more wins
yes,
on those teams?
No doubt in my mind.
What type of magic soup do you drink every single day, Combs?
It's not, because the soup is spilled over here.
Jeez, my goodness gracious. I forgot what this is like. I think more white just came in my hair just listening to that. You just had to go twisting on the O-line and back off what you said and then go into something different when we were on the O-line for Seattle. Man, Combs.
All right, what is your second
number
thing
2.
that's spilling your soup over there?
All right, and number 2. All right, now it's my time to rag on you a little bit, Buck. You're not getting away from me just too much. And we had a nice little conversation last night. I'm so tired of hearing this. Sitting a first-round quarterback their first year does not guarantee success.
I agree.
No matter what you think that sitting Justin Fields year 1 is valuable, everything negates that with proof of not only stats, but players, standards and situation, cultures, your locker room, everything like that. It's baloney. Okay, there is a full report that I went and dug up, and it only went to 2018, so we don't have the last 2 years, but 15 years up to 2018 that had every rookie first-round quarterback who was drafted that sat, and then the ones that started. And it compared their first 10 games because they had to be able to get them all together to see what it was like. Hey, in your first 10 games after you sat for a whole season, did it make it better? In your first 10 games when they said, go play, you're learning the playbook, get out there, cut your teeth to make it better, is it going to do you any better? And it is it even blew my mind more. It helped my argument even more, which makes me so happy to be able to get in here and rag on you guys. But it had a total of 19 quarterbacks who sat, 29 who started. Of that, the average win total was about, in 10 games, was 1 win more for those who started. The quarterback rating was almost 3 points higher for all those that started. Here is one of the biggest things, though. Of those that started, the 29, 18 are still active NFL quarterbacks, 12 are starters, and one's in limbo, Deshaun Watson, who we were just talking about. Of the 19 who sat, only 4 are active, 4 are starters, which are Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, and Jimmy Garoppolo. All the rest are done. That's a 21% success rate when you sit a quarterback on their first year and let him melt.
100% success rate for the Hall of Fame on those quarterbacks.
Oh, God. Thank God we got that in. So if you sit your quarterback year one, you have a 21% success rate that they'll actually do something for you. But don't worry, you'll be able to get into the Hall of Fame. Why don't we talk about the quarterbacks who were still in, who started their first year, had the better record, had the better QBR? Guys like Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco, Matt Stafford. Heard of these guys? Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston. Calm down, Combs. Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, and Deshaun Watson, who's in limbo. The rest of the guys are backups. No, hold on. But here's my favorite one. And I'll let you respond. I've left one out on purpose. There's one quarterback on that list who started, and it's so funny because he's the focus of what's going on right now. Andy Dalton started for the Cincinnati Bengals and was 6-4 with an 80 QBR. And we're talking about him being the guy who is not a good quarterback, who is above average, and just because he's a seasoned veteran of some sort, that's going to help out Justin Fields. It makes no sense. Put Fields on there. Let him play. He's going to get hit. Stop with these comments of, if they put him out there, they might break his leg. Ask Jared Judy if it freaking matters if he got hurt in year 1, year 2, year 3. You're going to have a chance to get hurt every single year. You put him out there. You let him play. And by the way, if you watch the drive, they let him play. He dove in for that touchdown. Did you see that offense? Did you see how pumped they were? Those O-line were all over him. They were jumping. They did none of that for Andy Dalton. They're watching him dump things off, and they were like, I got to run this same block scheme again for the Red Rocket as he curls out and dumps it off to a running back again. It makes no sense. Fields is learning nothing but to sit and stare at a field during the game. He's still going to study. He's still going to be practicing, but put him on the field. Yeah, he's going to have some bad games, but the statistics don't lie. The proof doesn't lie. He's going to be more successful if they put him in. The floor is yours, Buck.
Okay, so you have listed 29 quarterbacks. Of those 29 quarterbacks that started year 1, how many Super Bowls have they won combined? I can think of 3 off the top of my head. 2 of those.
No, only 3?
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell.
That's what we're going with right now.
Well, and then the ones that sat, they all have Super Bowl wins. So that right there shows you that they're more poised, better equipped to have a longevity of a career. Tori brought up the Hall of Fame thing there. Do you know why they're going to have Hall of Fame careers? It's because they're in their league 10, 15, 20 years. These guys that are starting right now come right out of the draft. We're looking at maybe 6, 7 years tops. Lamar Jackson is going to be out of the league next year. He is so freaking
Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco, Matthew Stafford. These are guys. Andy Dalton. These aren't guys that have only been around for 5 years. Buck, what the hell are you talking about? The only one that's older on the ones that have sat is Aaron Rodgers, and that's because he sat for a millennium behind Brett Favre. Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, and Jimmy Garoppolo are the other 3. That makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense because those guys are going to be in there forever. They're going to be in there for until they're 33 or 36. I mean, they're going to be in there for a long time.
All the guys that sat are already retired. They're gone.
Look, you sound like Chris Collinsworth.
They're gone.
Then let's talk about Andy Dalton's 2.1 second release time. Go ahead.
You have more Pro Bowls. Put it this way: if I said you have a chance to spend $1, and on that you will win $5 million on this side or this side. I said you only have a 20% success rate that you'll win $5 million and we'll toss in an extra $1 million. But on this side, you have a success rate of something crazy of 45% plus constant, more money generating, flowing in, everything like that. Fans, tickets, jerseys, success, Pro Bowls, playoff appearances, everything like that. Oh, but you won't get the 100% Hall of Fame notion. Which one are you going to go with?
I want the longevity of a career. I don't want to get a new quarterback jersey every 4 years.
You don't have it.
What do you mean? The Chicago Bears, how many quarterbacks have the Chicago Bears gone through in 10 years?
You only have one that's long on that list. Aaron Rodgers. You want me to give you the rest of them? Carson Palmer. Break that one out. Rex Grossman. I know you got your Rex Grossman jersey sitting back there, Combs. JP Lossman. Thank God I got my 3 JP Lossmans. I got the home, away, and the alternative. Jason Campbell. And let's not forget about the barn burner, Jamarcus Russell, who brought a blank tape home and told them he studied all their plays. That's who you're banking on.
Didn't Jamarcus Russell start his first year? Don't give me that.
No, he did not.
Are you sure?
He sat. Yeah, because they were sending him home with blank tapes to see if he'd study it. That's the difference. Justin Fields is studying. He is studying. He's practicing. And then when he's on the field, because he understood, we saw it in the one drive they put him in, and for some stupid reason, they said that was successful. Let's stick him back on the bench.
Wait. So hang on. You are calling a rolled out pocket, busted play, diving in for the end zone.
That was not a busted play. It was a designed run.
It was a designed run.
That is all he can do. That's all he can do is roll the pocket and dive into the end zone. Congratulations.
I want to see you in your JP Lossman jersey next week, Buck, so bad.
I got my Jason Campbell jersey.
Don't tell him. He's going to wear his JP Lossman undies if you keep it up with him.
I got my Jason Campbell jersey. Come on now.
Aaron Rodgers is the only thing on that list that gives it a little bit of, if Aaron Rodgers hadn't been able to do anything, your 3 quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jared Goff. Because in Detroit, Jared Goff jerseys, they're going off like crazy, especially with Buck's prediction of them Lions going off and winning that division.
They will. They'll go 10-7.
Of those second-year quarterbacks, a couple of them have won a Super Bowl. How many have won multiple?
Multiple
Super Bowls.
I can think of 3.
Just Aaron Rodgers.
None. He's only won 1.
Oh, he's only won 1. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry.
How many of them first-year starters?
Super Bowl in there.
How many of those first-year starters have won multiple Super Bowls? I can think of 2.
Ben Roethlisberger has won multiple ones.
Yep. Russell Wilson.
Yeah. So multiple Super Bowl winners.
Oh, Russell's only got 1. Russell only won 1.
No, he's gone to 2. He's only won 1.
He should have won the second one, but they decided to.
But they said they threw the ball instead of running it.
Yeah.
Right there, baby. But anyway, it doesn't. If your whole notion is banked on the success of one player in a 15-year mark coming through a list in 15 years that isn't within the last couple years, and that is your one success factor, and you want to sit there and stand on that pedestal, you stand on it, Buck. But the data, the stats, the proof, the name, the cultures are there. Why do you think they got rid of guys like, I don't care how terrible they may have been, but you got rid of guys like Wentz. You got rid of guys like Minshew. You got rid of these guys out of there because the rookie is in there to succeed. You draft a quarterback in the first round, just like you draft an O-lineman, a safety, a wide receiver, a running back to play and make impact right away. Stop saying they've got to sit them because they might break their legs.
I didn't say they had to sit them. Whoa. Stop trying to twist my words. I didn't say they had to sit them. I said Justin Fields needed to sit because he is not smart enough to learn an NFL play.
You are out of your mind.
You're not. No, you're not.
Stupid
you
thing.
did
all
not.
Right. And now, second of all, let me play devil's advocate because Super, I'm with you here. Like I'm with you.
Of
Justin Fields needed to be the starter on the Bears. I've been saying it for a while. But if there's one advocate for him to sit, it's the fact that Matt Nagy is his head coach, and I'm not so certain that Matt Nagy can alter his playbook to make Justin Fields successful. That might be the one reason why it would be beneficial for him to sit. Even though I think he could overcome that, he could make the plays happen on his own when they break down. I think he can call audibles at the line of scrimmage.
He already did. He did that on that one drive. One drive, he called 2 audibles. He walked up there and did something that I didn't watch Cam Newton do more than once all last season. And I pay attention to that stuff. Cam Newton called 1 audible all last season as a starting former MVP quarterback of the New England Patriots. Justin Fields did it twice. Week 1 as a rookie running back.
I'm sorry, his head coach is a moron.
Tori, defend. You've been kind of quiet over there.
Well, he doesn't know. He's like, Soup Bob makes some great points here, but he did say Aaron Rodgers on the other side, and that's my boy.
No, I'm still. The thing is, and this is why I say Fields should sit. The game speed and learning the playbook.
You still do that. Did you not
but the thing
hear
is,
the list of the players?
Did
you not hear the list of the players?
Do you do investment?
They can't do it.
Do you
they
do
don't
investment?
do that. Do they? No. We're not getting into investment.
No. Yes, we are right now.
Study? Are you saying that when you play in year 1, you don't study? You don't study. You don't study or practice or anything?
You don't know how to study.
You end up getting David Carr. You end up getting sacked 89 times in a year. You end up getting your confidence destroyed. That's how you wreck a young quarterback.
You are
QB1. It is how you wreck a quarterback. That is proven. That is a fact. That is a straight fact.
You practice with the first players. You practice with the veterans who know what they're doing. You're going to practice with the old linemen who start the game, and the wide receivers are going to come over and go, hey, you had that right there, but next time, look at it this way. You're going to talk to the guys that are on the field and succeeding right now, that most of these quarterbacks on the list say they're the ones to help guide me. That's how you study. And then you are going to film, and you're doing the same thing, but when you're not on the field, you just sit there. You're like, why do you draft him?
Did you watch the guy? He scored their only touchdown other than a running back. He was the only quarterback that scored a touchdown. And not only that, did you watch the time where the freaking defensive end came in untouched and he actually watched him come in, waited for him to jump, changed his arm angle, and freaking threw the ball downfield and almost had a touchdown pass too?
Hey,
stop it!
Almost only counts on horseshoes.
But he wouldn't be able to study if he did that too many times.
Oh my God, you guys sound ridiculous with that take. I hate it.
You guys sound like somebody that has never coached a football game in your life.
You sound like somebody who's never even known what a football is.
That's a terrible
comeback. My baseball?
Speaking of baseball,
I almost went to the next one.
Doing?
Oh, that's such a low. That's such a terrible low blow.
You know, I hate the Cubs, and I think that's a low blow.
And by the way, you know what they're doing? They're doing about as well as the Royals.
Hey,
hey, hold on, real quick, because I know I've gone long.
I'm asking for a friend.
If we're gonna go here with low blows, my point number 3. I don't even need stats or anything. The Detroit Lions suck. Buck, what the hell is the matter with you? That's all I need.
We will find out Monday when they go into Lambeau and whoop that ass by 17 points, son. 17 points.
Buck, if you were sitting by my friend, I'm gonna tell them all to kick your ass.
Hey, you know what? Just for that, I am coming naked, painted my blue and silver, son. Shave my head, put a helmet like a lion. Oh, hell yeah.
Look, if they win by 17 points, I will do this show painted like you just said you were going to go to that game.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay? Deal.
What happens if the Packers don't lose by 17?
They're not even going to lose the game.
I know, but I want to know what Buck, he doesn't get to just throw all this like, oh, Detroit Lions, yay, Eminem, I love 8 Mile. What are you going to do about it?
First of all, I love 16 Mile. I don't care. I mean, anything but shave my head and beard because my beard's perfect right now.
And your head's already shaved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always bald.
I think, you know what I think you should do?
You should have to grow your hair out for 6 months.
Nothing will change. Nothing will change.
Oh God,
we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
No, you got to have a comb over. You got to be able to at least grow a comb over then.
I can't.
He can't grow a comb over.
I can grow a mullet.
He can't even get the Charlie Brown going. What are you talking about?
This subscriber count just went down once again. We're talking about comb overs now, but this is where the show has gone.
Hey, speaking of comb overs, Man Hour is brought to you by Manscaped, guy. You guys can use promo code Man Hour when you check out at Manscaped to save yourselves 10%. So we also get a little kickback if you guys are interested in that. Nice. So Manscaped. So
make sure that you shave your balls and you keep them clean, and especially when you're in the frozen north of the tundra and you're watching the Green Bay Packers kick the crap out of the Lions.
All right. Soup, as always, man, thank you for joining us, man. We definitely appreciate it, and we love seeing you in the chat, guys. So that is Spilled Soup for tonight. You be here next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I think I plan on it. I don't know. You guys tell me. I gave my availability.
Well,
when my heart rate goes
Wednesday.
down, I'll be back.
Well, Combs, call 911 because we need.
I was gonna say we keep 911 on standby for Combs.
Everybody above 45 needs to take a blood pressure pill right now. All right,
it's not funny, Buck. It's not funny, Buck. They just put me on blood pressure meds.
And on that note, Soup, we'll see you next week, man.
Down again. Bye, guys.
Later, bud.
Later, Soup.
All right, guys. That is Soup Boss with Spilled Soup. That is, it is always fun talking to Soup Boss. He always brings a fire each and every time I always talk to him. He's a great guy. But guys, we are up against the break here. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckkosh with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson. Now you can find us all on the old Twitter machine at manhour_Buck, manhour_Tori, and of course manhour_Combs. That last segment was brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. You can download Thrive Fantasy at thrivefantasy.com. Use promo code MANHOUR, and they'll match up to $50 on your first deposit. You can also download that on Android and iOS devices. thrivefantasy.com, promo code MANHOUR. So let's welcome the guys back onto the screen here, guys. As long as we catch our breaths here, as Soup Boss decided to just basically destroy every argument that we had ever. But yeah, it just I absolutely love that spilled soup segment that we have, and we're looking forward to every Wednesday.
I think you destroyed your takes. I think I defended mine quite well.
Well, I wasn't prepared to defend him. I was just kind of expecting him just to go off, and I just kind of like smile and wave.
You shouldn't have to be prepared to defend your own take. You should know why it's your take.
Well, yeah, but I didn't have his stats. Like, man, he came up with those stats. Like, I honestly did not know those stats at all. Which
yeah,
what it was back till what that was till 2008 was that, or 2005? I can't
2003.
remember. Oh, 2003. Yeah. So So yeah, that was a great fact there. So does that change my argument on that? No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh my God.
I still think it is very important for a quarterback to sit year one. So with that being said,
clearly,
speaking of sitting, we are sitting on the Major League Baseball playoffs right now, guys. We are just a few weeks away until the hunt of until October is here, and Major League Baseball is wrapping up. And right now, we have 4 teams sitting in the wild card position. That's the Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees, and then the LA Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals, the beloved St. Louis Cardinals here on the Man Hour. So, Tori, are there any of those 4 teams that could win the World Series this year in 2021?
Again, to be the man, you got to beat the man. I would say the Dodgers, but screw that. I want something different. I wanted all this year. The Bucks won the NBA title. My Milwaukee Brewers can win a World Series. And the reason I say that is because of their pitching. It's not because of their offense. Their offense would need to catch fire. However, they can go toe-to-toe with literally any team in Major League Baseball when it comes to pitching and match up well with them.
Combs, what are your thoughts?
I think Tori's a homer.
Yeah.
I think
that's fact. That's fact.
He's setting himself up
for
failure.
They have 3 guys on their roster. Their top 3 pitchers are Cy Young contenders. How is that not reality? How many pitchers do you use in the postseason?
Because at some point they're going to wake up and realize who they actually are. They're not.
Well, they haven't yet, so I don't
anymore. That'll come in October when they face real offenses night in and night out. But look, as much as I'm going to stay away from the Dodgers too because I think that's the easy pick.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do this, and I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit. But the St. Louis Cardinals, man, look, if any team is going to come out of the wild card and win the World Series, it's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be a team you just don't see because that's who the St. Louis Cardinals are. And as much as I would hate to see it, as much as I will root every night against it happening, like I would actually root for the stadium to implode as opposed to watch the Cardinals win the World Series.
I second that motion.
Yeah, so I don't want to see it happen, but I would that's the team I would end up picking if I'm going to pick any team to upset everybody.
I just can't. You can't pick against the Dodgers though. It's just they're the world champions.
I know
that's where it's
they got 10 times better at the trade deadline.
Right.
So
that's where I'm just like,
who is the most complete team? Is it the Dodgers or the Cardinals?
It's the Dodgers.
Oh, God, have you seen the Cardinals? The Cardinals have holes all over the place.
They might have holes, but they're in the wild card.
They keep winning.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, Adam Wainwright looks like he's 27 again.
All I need is you two to start running your mouth again like you were trying to do about the Reds, and the Reds just went ploop after they were like 5 games out.
I'll do it. If that's what it's going to take, the Cardinals will win the World Series. They're going to sweep their way through it. They are the best team in baseball right now. They are number 1 on my power ranking. I'm going to get Hoffman to put them number 1 on his power ranking. The Cardinals are number 1 right now.
All right, so I just clipped that, and that'll be on clips tomorrow on youtube.com/manhour. So, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. You will see Beastie clipping, stating his facts, his allegiance for the Cardinals.
Oh,
so
with all the Cubs gear in the background.
Exactly.
My grandfather just rolled over in his grave.
All right, guys, so switching gears here, switching back to the NFL here. Week 1 was filled of some upsets and some surprises. Of course, that's week 1 football for us. But as we look forward to week 2, maybe we're overreacting like a tad bit, but I feel there are 3 teams out there that are in must-win situations. So I'm kicking it to Beastie first here. Are the Green Bay Packers in a must-win game in this week 2 versus the Detroit Lions?
Yes, absolutely. They have to come out. They have to play 100 times better than what they played against in New Orleans. And they have to assert their dominance in this division. And you can't do that if you're going to go out and lose to a team that's as horrible as the Detroit Lions are. So this is an absolute, and as much as I don't believe in must wins in week 2, this is a must win for the Green Bay Packers. It really is. They have to go out and they have to perform.
If my memory serves me correct, a team that starts 0-2 only makes the playoffs 40% of the time. Tori, are the Packers in a must-win situation going into week 2 when they travel or when they take on Detroit Lions Monday night?
RELAX. Relax.
Okay.
That's what Aaron says. So no, they're not in desperation mode. They're not in that. If you remember correctly, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 90s, when they were a pretty dang good ball club, every year would start off like 1-3 people, like, oh my God. And then they would go like, I don't know, 10-2 down the stretch. You know,
with all due respect, he says that RELAX thing. He said that before he became a tree hugging, freaking man bun wearing, skinny loser who can't even compete with the Saints.
He looks rough.
Did you see the photo I sent you where he looks like the guy from that Netflix show? What was that called? I don't know. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. But he looks old, man, and he does not look good. He looks older than Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's 7 years older than he is.
Everybody ages different, though. I mean, you're 4 years younger than me. You look like 10 years older than me.
I doubt that highly. Let's put that up on the poll. Who looks older, Combs or Torrey?
Yeah, so give me a hashtag beastie, like bestiality, and then hashtag Torrey.
Hashtag take old biddies.
Now there is another team that I feel is in a must-win situation going into week 2, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. They did go toe-to-toe with the Buccaneers on opening day, but they did lose 31-29. And this time they are traveling to LA to take on the Chargers. Tori, are the Cowboys in a must-win situation?
The Cowboys are always in a must-win situation. You know why? Because their head coach will be the first one fired this year. Like McCarthy at this point is coaching for his job.
Think so?
Jerry Jones doesn't put up with much. I mean, Jesus, he ran Jimmy Johnson out of town for God's sakes. And that, I mean, granted, that was probably more of an ego thing, but a 2-time Super Bowl winning coach to bring in Barry Switzer.
Right.
It's more, I think his job's on the line early this season. He is the coach under the most pressure because everybody was like, oh, this is the year they got to do it. And I think that this is the year that he's under the most pressure, and he will collapse and fail like normal.
Yeah, so just on the flip side of that, Tori, that Jason Garrett was there for a very, very long time, being a very mediocre coach. So I think if they're at least 9-8 this season, I think his job is safe. But Combs, are the Dallas Cowboys in a must-win situation?
No, they are not. I mean, it's week 2, and who do they got this week again?
They're at the LA Chargers.
LA Chargers. So it's not even a divisional game. It's not something that, it's not even a conference game at that. So no, I don't think it's a must-win game for the Dallas Cowboys. They're in a very winnable division, just much like the Green Bay Packers are. However, the difference between them and the Packers is that the Packers are in a divisional game. So I don't, and the Packers are coming off a really bad performance. I don't feel like the Cowboys are in the same position because you can win this division at, 8-9 probably.
I don't know.
This division is going to be really bad.
So Tori, let me ask you this question. You said week 2 is must win for the Dallas Cowboys. What if they come out and play like they did week 1 and offensively played well, defensively they held the Buccaneers to 31 points? Like, I don't know if that's going to be, decent or like or not. But what if we're looking at another?
We're going to go with or not ever. Giving up 31 points a week is an or not every day, every week.
Okay, so let's say the final score is 21-17. The Chargers win. Do you think that's satisfactory for the Cowboys, or is it definitely a must-win?
No, the game, it's a must-win for them. It's like I said, at this point, they're coaching because everybody's expecting them to be world beaters this year. They're expecting them to be a Super Bowl team. I think there again, it's a different dynamic when you're the Cowboys. Every game's a must-win, live or die. Like, it's like Packer fans. oh my God, we lost the game. It's the end of the friggin' world. Yeah. And it's just not the case. But in this case, I think it is for them because it's like I said, the more games they lose, the hotter that fire gets under McCarthy.
And if we're talking about for fans, it's definitely a must win because Cowboys fans are so sick and tired of seeing those memes. Y'all still them boys? Just checking. See if y'all still them boys. So for Cowboys fans, it's absolutely a must win. I think for Packers fans, it's a must win. Any fan base, they're always in a must win.
Very, very, very true. So one final team that I am going to ask you guys that is in a must-win situation, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. They obviously lost in overtime on Monday Night Football to the Las Vegas Raiders. They are at home versus Kansas City this week, but looking at their schedule moving forward, it's a pretty tough schedule. They play the Lions, Broncos, Colts, and Chargers all in the first 6 weeks here. So, Tori, are the Baltimore Ravens in a must-win situation in this Week 2 game versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oof. Yes, because every game, that's a good division. That AFC North, every game you lose is a game that's going to be tough to get back in. As opposed to even like Green Bay, you can go 0-2, and in that division, it's not going to hurt you that bad. And that AFC North, absolutely, that is going to put you behind the 8 ball in that division. Because it's when it comes to divisional play, that is a smash each other in the mouth, hit each other as hard as we can, and let's hopefully we hurt each other. Type of division. It's still smash mouth football there. And coming back from an 0-2 deficit from there in the AFC North, 100%, yes, this is a must-win game for them.
Yeah, so Tori, you brought up some good points about the division, and many people are saying that they might possibly have 4 playoff teams out of this division. So Combs, are the Ravens in a must-win game on this Sunday night game versus the Kansas City Chiefs at home?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Tori just said. I think it's a very tough division to win. You've got the Steelers playing the Raiders. If the Steelers can pull another one out, they're in Pittsburgh, so if they can pull one out at home, they're 2-0. You'd be sitting at 0-2, 2 games back in this division, and if everybody's, at least I don't know about everybody, but I'm definitely expecting the Browns to beat the Texans this week. So now you've got to leapfrog the Browns and the Steelers to get back into this thing. That's going to be a tough task. The Cleveland Browns are a very good team. Everybody thinks the Steelers are a good team. I think that they're having a down year. I had them at 5-12 this year. Maybe they're going to be at 6-11 since they pull one out against Buffalo. But yes, this is an absolutely must-win, especially against the Kansas City Chiefs, because you have to go out. And I said this about the Browns too. You have to go out and you have to make a statement against the Kansas City Chiefs. You have to go out and prove to yourself that you can beat them. Not only is this an important game for the standings and for you in your division, but this is an important game for your psyche heading into January. So if you can beat the Kansas City Chiefs, that's a huge boost for you heading into January.
So this is a big question that I've been wanting to ask. So who do you think is more confident going into the playoffs? So let's say the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Ravens. Do they have more confidence in January if they play the Baltimore Ravens, or do the Baltimore Ravens beat the Chiefs and then in return they have more confidence going into January, like if they were to play?
I think if you beat the Chiefs, regardless of where you beat them at, you gain some confidence because you feel like you know how to beat them. You've already done it. You could stick to the game plan. You could change up a few things here and there, but you know that you can beat this team. And that's huge heading into a playoff scenario. Even if it is only week 2 against January, which is, a whole 4 months later,
right?
You've got a chance to go out and say, hey, we're for real. Last week, that loss against the Raiders was it was a week 1 fluke. And we're for real. We are the team that everybody thought we were going to be. Look at us. And that's what this game is for the Baltimore Ravens.
Tori, what are your thoughts on that? Who needs this win more?
Baltimore needs to win more.
Well,
absolutely.
January-wise.
But for January-wise, the thing is chances are whoever wins this game, the other team would probably have to go into their house. So, come January, that's if I'm the Ravens, I got to go to Kansas City during playoff time. The loudest stadium in the NFL, that puts you at a significant disadvantage. Same thing if Baltimore's got to turn around, or Kansas City has to turn around and go to Baltimore. Think that crowd's not going to be fired up and be extra loud when they go there? 100%. And that's where, like, you start bringing in the intangibles, the stuff that can't be controlled by the game, like how loud the crowd is and stuff like that. Like, right. It's a different feel when it comes to January. Everybody knows that. Like,
I hate when we have to talk good about Kansas City teams when Buck's on the show, because he just gets that look on his face like, yeah, I know they're good.
All we see is
that's a false statement, because we all know what I'm working with over here. I am a ginger. So let's go ahead and we've talked enough about week 1 here, and we talked a little bit about week 2. So let's go ahead and fully catapult into week 2 here. Mr. Tori Anderson at @manhour_Tori on the old Twitter machine. What are you looking forward to most in week 2 of the NFL season?
Home opener at Lambeau Field, baby. You are about to experience something that is different, Buck. I hope you guys can get there early enough to see the atmosphere and feel the atmosphere. It is crazy. And as many times as I've done it and as many times as I've been to it, it still happens every single time. Does not matter what game it is. Playoff times what you're going to feel on Monday by 10.
Especially coming off of that week 1 performance.
You're
that fan base is going to be hungry.
You're going to get an angry Packer team and a lot of angry Packer fans that are going to be loud and ruckus.
So I shouldn't wear a Lions jersey is what you're saying.
You can, like, there again, Packer fans aren't douchey like that. So, like, they will
jersey, they're okay.
No, and that's the thing. Like, so a few years ago at a Packer Bears game, there was a guy that was, there, and we were just kind of badgered him, give him crap. And some drunk Packer fan, like, we got in the wrong section, went over and stood in the guy's seat, and the guy came back with his Bears stuff. And he's like, "Hey man, you're in my seat." And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're one section over." He's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, let me wait till after this play." So he says, "Okay, whatever." The Packer fan turns around and clocks the Bears fan for like no reason, zero. All you saw was Packer fans jump on this guy and pull him off and hand him right to the cops. Be like, "This dude, get him out of here."
Yeah. I will say, I'm looking for, dude. I'm always looking forward to Bears games, but this week is full of a lot of what ifs. What if this team does that? What if this team goes 0-2? I'm really looking forward to seeing what Buffalo can bounce back against Miami in Miami, which is a sneaky tough place to play. I want to see if Buffalo can bounce back. I want to see if they can come back, win this divisional game, assert their dominance in this division that they should dominate, and get back to Buffalo Bills football. That's what I'm most excited to see.
Yeah, and I am most excited to see the Houston Texans. Like I want to see if they actually are for real, or if Jacksonville Jaguars are just that bad. So I think it's a little bit of both, because Tyrod Taylor is going to be a Pro Bowl type quarterback. I'm totally kidding. Like a lot hike on that. I'm actually looking forward to the Tennessee-Seattle game. I want to know if Tennessee is actually, going to be a competitive team this year, because they got thumped by the Cardinals week 1. They looked to shell up themselves. And yes, I know they got hot last year and won like 8 or 9 games in a row to make the playoffs, but that's what I'm looking forward to most. Is definitely that Titans-Seattle game, just to see if the Titans are gone or they're still there.
Yeah, absolutely. And heading over to the comments over on YouTube, Supa says that Tori talks about the Green Bay Packers and gets excited like he gets excited when he goes to McDonald's and the ice cream machine isn't broken.
Wait, McDonald's has an ice cream machine still?
That isn't broken?
I didn't know that. Wow. And then he also says Buffalo Miami is a big game. What does IMO mean?
In my opinion.
Oh. Cool.
I learn something new every day. How about?
Yeah.
You're an IT guy. How do you know what IMO means?
First things first. So have you ever experienced IT acronyms? There's an acronym for everything.
That's what I'm saying. How do you not know what IMO means?
Because sometimes, so for my job example, we have a AVS server, we have an AVS computer, and we have an AVS scanner. when people say AVS, you have to realize, first of all, what the hell are they talking about? Are they talking about the server? Are they talking about the scanner? Are they talking about the computer? Are they talking about the AVS module on a car? Are they talking about the keys like AVS? So everything means something different, but they can have the same freaking acronym, and IT pisses me off. I'm not even going to front. IT pisses me off. It's fucking terrible. But guys, we are up against the next break here. We have Would You Rather coming up here. So Combs, tell the people a little bit about what Would You Rather is all about while I catch my breath.
Would you rather is always just that play on the game you play when you're kids. So would you rather marry this one? Would you rather sleep with this one? Would you rather kill this one? But we don't kind of get that dark. We don't get that hairy. Well, or do we?
Or do we? But Would You Rather is brought to you by Yeats Sunglasses, guys. Head over to Yeats.com. Use promo code MANHOUR, and they'll take 10% off your sunglasses ordered. That's YEETZ.com. Yeats Sunglasses. Pick them up. Use promo code MANHOUR, guys. We'll be right back.
Did you get those American flag ones you were talking about?
I did not. I got the lime green ones and the cotton candy ones. I'm pretty excited about it. They'll be in Monday. I'll wear them.
All right.
All those American flag ones were pretty cool. They'll go great with our American flag Man Hour shirt, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys.
On a Lions jersey.
We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhead along with Tori Anderson and Brandon Combs tonight. If you guys are not following Brandon Combs, if you guys are not following Belly Up Sports on Twitter, you should right now. Belly Up Sports on the old Twitter machine. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network team over there, and this last part of the show is powered by Belly Up Sports. You can also find us on Belly Up Sports every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. East Coast time, right there on their Facebook page. That's bellyupsports.com. So let's welcome everybody back on the show, guys. Here, welcome back. We've had an action-packed show. We are still going strong, and we have to end the show with Would You Rather. Normally we do Would You Rather on a Tuesday, we're going to party on a Wednesday with Would You Rather. So Combs, Tori, are you guys ready for Would You Rather?
Well, would you rather do it on Tuesday or Wednesday?
I'd rather do it on a Monday.
I like Would You Rathers, but did you not prepare it?
No, I got it. I got it. Are you guys ready? That's what are you guys ready?
I'm always ready.
Are you ready? Alrighty. So the first Would You Rather of the night. We are in the NFL world where it is a very offensive happy league. But in week 1, we saw the Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers dominate on the defensive side. So Mr. Torrey Anderson, would you rather give up 35 points a game and win, or give up 7 points game and win? Would you rather be in an offensive shootout or a defensive shootout? What it comes down to?
I'll give me the solid defense and win by 7 points, or give up 7 points and win, because your defense, that's going to win you championships.
All right.
So give me a solid defense, hands down, every single time. I mean, they've won. It's been the key factors for how many Super Bowls now in the last few years.
True. Combs, what about you?
It's been the key factor for a lot of Super Bowls. Unless you're the Atlanta Falcons. Give me the offense all day long. Look, I want a high-flying offense. I want a good offense that can score a lot of points. I want the Kansas City Chiefs offense, or I want the Baltimore Ravens. I want a team that can put up points. So that's me. I'm going offense.
Yeah, and I'm exactly with you, Collins, because what puts asses in the seats? 35 to 45 scores. What leads you off on Sports Center? 35 to 45 scores, not 7 to 10, not 7 to 3 scores. I want money. I want people buying jerseys. I want people to buy my Patrick Mahomes jersey 10 times on Sunday and 15 times on Wednesday. So give me the high-flying offense every freaking time, no doubt in my mind.
Hey, 2 years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, how did those defenses fare against the Kansas City Chiefs during that run? Because they all had leads, and they were all pretty damn good defenses, and they all got beat.
Also, on the flip side of that coin, though, the Kansas City Chiefs defense did come into play the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, like in the regular season. So yeah.
When the Colts won their Super Bowl, it was because their defense, who had been terrible all year, came to it. When the Giants won 2 Super Bowls, it was because the defense stepped up and played great.
They won their Super Bowls because their offense executed in the final plays of the game, catching balls on their helmets and doing all sorts of other crazy stuff.
The Giants won their Super Bowl because Justin Timberlake put gum on the dude's helmet. You guys all saw that.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so the next Would You Rather tonight, we are going to go into the baseball side of things here. Vlad is leading the Major League Baseball right now with 45 home runs. But on the flip side of that, Max Scherzer is leading the Major League Baseball with an ERA of 2.17. Combs, would you rather lead the league in home runs or ERA?
Chicks dig the long ball. I would much rather lead the league in home runs than in ERA. Look, especially nowadays, because nowadays everybody's got a pretty low ERA, unless you pitch for the Cubs. But everybody's got a low ERA because guys now are all about launch angle. The strikeout rates are high, so right now, you can go out there and a lot of pitchers have that low, but not a lot of guys are hitting 40 plus home runs. Not a lot of the guys are doing what Vlad Guerrero is doing this year. Not a lot of guys are doing what, these guys are doing with that, keep hitting the long balls. You look at guys like, even for the Cubs, you look at it, even though the Cubs stink this year, but they've got a rookie by the name of Patrick Wisdom who just keeps hitting home runs. Frank Schwindel keeps hitting home runs. And even though the Cubs stink, that's what everybody's still talking about in this town, is how this team looks and how their young guys are performing and hitting home runs. How, Patrick Wisdom is a 30-year-old rookie that has the rookie home run record, and beating Chris Bryant, who was 7 years younger when he did it. So those are the things that people like. Give me the home run all day long.
Tori, what about you?
Absolutely 100% agree, because there again, it's a swing and miss league, and they don't care anymore. So having a low ERA is nothing great. It's like, oh my God, he had 300 strikeouts this year as a pitcher. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, when you're pitching
All
everybody
of them
that's
against
swinging.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Bryce Harper. Like that should give you like 400 a year right there. So give me the home run. Let me hit the home runs all day long, just because there again, it's what everybody comes to see. It's what everybody wants to see. But if you're me, I'm just like, let's just bring back the stolen base. Let's make the stolen base sexy again.
I do like small ball, coming a Royals fan, but Tori, I'm surprised you went with the home run, since you said defense wins championships and pitching is defense and pitching wins championships. So I'm kind of surprised you went that way. But for the final would you rather of the night, guys, we all seen the Kansas City Chiefs Browns game. We saw the punter fumble the ball and get sacked for a 10-yard loss, and then we also saw Baker Mayfield throw a game-ending interception to seal the win for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Tori, would you rather be the punter for the Cleveland Browns in Week 1 or Baker Mayfield Week 1, throwing that last second interception?
Baker, because then I can go home and tend to Cleveland Stadium, and his wife's pretty smoking hot.
Combs, what about you?
I missed the question because some video popped up on one of my pages and I couldn't find it to turn it off.
So the Browns punter fumbled the snap and he got sacked for like a 10-yard loss, and that pretty much swing the momentum in the Kansas City Chiefs' favor Week 1. And then we saw Baker Mayfield throw that game-ending interception. Would you rather be the punter or Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield, because the punter is going to get cut next week if he does it again. Baker Mayfield will still be the starting quarterback, if he throws 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 more interceptions.
Right. I also have to agree with you guys. The reason why I called him the punter, because I don't know the punter's name. The only time you know a punter's name is when he does something bad, right? Or a long snapper. The only time he does something is when he does something bad. So Baker Mayfield has a contract. He's going to be making money. Well, like you said, Combs, wouldn't be surprised me if that punter gets cut, by the end of the year by any means. So it is that time of night, guys. We're going to open up to Shock Talk here for the last 5 minutes of the show. If you guys got any questions, let us know on the chat line, youtube.com/manhour. You can also find us on facebook.com/manhour sports talk. As I was reading a comment there, Soup Boss comes out and says, would you rather be the punter? Automatically should be the other option.
He's not wrong.
He is. He is not.
He's
wrong.
not wrong. Would you rather be the punter or would you rather be on the cheerleading team? Cheerleading team. Every time. Drew comes out and says, "Would you rather on the baseball one?" He would rather have the lowest ERA in the league. So that's kind of interesting. Look, to be a dominant pitcher is different than just having a low ERA. Max Scherzer's a dominant pitcher. Walker Buehler's a dominant pitcher. But you look at guys in the league that have a low ERA, like a Kyle Hendricks for the Chicago Cubs. What's he doing in October this year? He's sitting down. Who cares that he had a low ERA? Nobody cares that he had a low ERA. It's just, look, you can have a low ERA and be on a bad team. Same, I guess you can say, the guy who's hitting 40 home runs is playing on the Blue Jays, and they're probably not getting to the playoffs. Yeah. But he gets to bat flip, he gets to trot around the bases, and he gets all the chicks.
And you can look at Jacob DeGrom. He consistently has an ERA below 1, and he's like 7-16 as a major league pitcher, right?
He's sitting on the IR.
Yeah. So scrolling back up to the chat here, Soup Boss says defense wins championships, and then he also comes out and says either way the scenario is winning. Give me either if we're winning. Yeah, I mean winning is always the best thing. So would you rather only give up 7 points on defense and lose, or give up 35 points on defense and win? Winning every time, right?
Yeah. Would you rather have Andy Dalton in his second year, or would you rather have Pat Mahomes in his first year?
Well, considering Pat Mahomes sat his first year, and we talked on this last night, Tori, he was not an NFL-ready quarterback his first year. I'll take Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I would take Andy Dalton too. Same reason.
Yeah. Give me Patty Mahomes because you know what, he still gets to play in his second year.
Well, you said okay, whatever. Soup Boss says,
"Hey, what would you rather have?" I mean, I would rather have Pat Mahomes because I know
like,
at least next year he's going to play.
I thought you were
get
referring
for
for like
thinking.
1 year.
I was just saying, Buck just got bucked.
Yeah,
that's what you get for assuming.
Yeah, I did. Right. You know what they say about assuming.
It's true.
Yeah. So Soup Boss says a grown man using cotton candy in a sentence and for an item of clothing he's excited for. God damn it. First of all, cotton candy colors are freaking badass. Baby blue and hot pink, man. Hell yeah. And I love me some cotton candy. You guys not love cotton candy?
I do like cotton candy.
I love cotton candy.
Yeah.
My blood sugar does not like it, so
I don't like the cotton candy.
I stay away from it.
And
but
then
I do like cotton candy.
Soup Box says what IMO stands for. He says, in my opinion, you old fart. Colm asks Bucks how he doesn't know what IMO mean. Buck goes for some crazy tangent of that he doesn't answer the question whatsoever. Yeah. I'm not hip like that.
Yeah, but Soup, this is not your first night watching the show.
Yeah.
Why are you surprised by that?
And then the last comment that we're going to address tonight, he says, holy shit, Buck, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. Love it. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this Wednesday edition here on the Man Hour. Join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. East Coast time, 7% good time on youtube.com/Man Hour.
What the heck just happened?
7 o'clock good time. I said 7%, which is same thing. 7 with the 2 zeros.
7%.
Yeah. But either way, guys, I'm getting tired. I'm getting a little slurry on the speeches because Twisted Tea, right? But Colmsy, send us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation.